Chapter 9. Verbs. A verb is a word that it presents the being, possession, or action performed by the subject in a sentence. Read the following sentences. They are intelligent. Being. We all have a pet at home. Possession. The children study with their father in the evening. Action. What did you notice in the words highlighted above? In the above sentences, if we remove the highlighted verbs, then the sentences will lose their true meaning. Therefore, it is evident that a verb is the backbone of any sentence. Without a verb, a sentence can't be framed. Kinds of verbs in relation to an object. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs. Verbs that need an object to complete their meaning in a sentence are called transitive verbs. Examples. Jack drove the car carelessly and met with an accident. Parents protect their kids from all harm. Objects in transitive verbs. Direct object. Indirect object. 1. Direct object. Direct object is a noun or pronoun that receives the effect of the verb in the sentence directly. 2. Indirect object. Indirect object is affected by the direct object or receives the action being performed by the subject indirectly. It is usually placed before the direct object. Example. We asked him a question. We, subject. Asked, verb. Him, indirect object. A question, direct object. Remember. To find a direct object, we ask the question, what? And to find an indirect object, we ask the question, to or for or from whom? Intransitive verbs. Verbs that do not need an object to complete their meaning in a sentence, instead have complete meaning by themselves, are called intransitive verbs. Examples. Sheena laughed loudly. I studied in California. These sentences have complete meaning even without an object. Also, the verbs laughed and studied do not depend on any object to make complete sense. Incomplete verbs, verbs that can't complete their meaning without some other words, are called incomplete verbs. Examples. The verbs is, am, are, was, were, will be, become, look, see, appear, and grow are incomplete verbs. The other words that are added with incomplete verbs are called complements of the verb. Examples. The weather seems nice. They are hospitable. Detransitive verbs. Verbs that need both direct and indirect objects to make proper sense are called detransitive verbs. Verbs like buy, give, grant, lend, make, pass, send, serve, show, teach, tell, etc. are detransitive verbs. Examples. He granted me a leave. They told everyone the secret recipe. In the given sentences, granted and told are detransitive verbs, me and everyone are indirect objects, whereas leave and secret recipe are direct objects. Main verbs, auxiliary verbs, and linking verbs. Main verbs. Main verb is the base form of the action verb which is modified based on several factors like tense, context, condition, etc. Verbs like eat, sleep, run, laugh, take, teach, walk, etc. are main verbs. Examples. Keshav drank 2 liters of milk yesterday. My friends and I walk to the school every morning. Auxiliary verbs. The verb that is used with the main verb to form tenses is known as an auxiliary verb. Primary auxiliary verbs. We form is, am, are, was, and were. Do form do, does, and did. Have form has, have, had, will have, and shall have. Auxiliary verbs are used to form tenses, questions, question tags, etc. Examples. She has gone to Paris for her birthday. We are performing at the company's annual event. They don't study every day, do they? Remember. An auxiliary verb is also known as a helping verb. Linking verbs. A linking verb is used as the main verb in a sentence. As the name suggests, these verbs link the subject with the information in the sentence without denoting an action. Some of the linking verbs are A. To be verbs is am, are, was, were, been, being. B. Become. C. Seen. D. 5 senses verbs: taste, smell, feel, look, seem, sound. Examples: Jane is very kind. It seems amusing. The dog smells good after the shower. Finite and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs. A verb that has tense and changes its form according to the person of the subject or number is called a finite verb. Examples: He dances like Michael Jackson. Denotes present tense. She danced a lot in the party. Denotes past tense. Non-finite verbs. A verb that doesn't indicate a tense or change its form according to the subject is called a non-finite verb. Examples: The peacock loves dancing in the rain. I want to learn Spanish. Remember, a non-finite verb is sometimes used immediately after the finite verb in a sentence. Kinds of non-finite verbs: the infinitive, the participle, the gerund. 1. The infinitive, the base forms of the verbs that denote an action as an idea and not as the action of a particular subject are called infinitives. They may or may not start with to. A. To infinitives. When an infinitive starts with to, it is called to infinitive. To sing, to dance, to eat, to read, to make, etc. are to infinitives. Examples: They came to meet me. To study literature is my dream. Be there infinitive without to. When an infinitive is used without to, it is called bare infinitive. Make, need, hear, watch, feel, let, dare, need, rather than, would rather, are bare infinitives. Examples: She made me cry. Let him pay the bill. 2. The participles. The participles are the words formed by modifying the base verb. They act as adjectives in a sentence. Therefore, they are also called verbal adjectives. A. Present participles, the forms of verbs that end with I, N, G, are called present participles. They denote the continuity of an action. Sleeping, growing, healing, etc. are present participles. Examples: Putting on his coat, he left the house. I do jogging every morning. Be past participles. The participle is passive in form. The forms of verbs that end with e, d, t, e, n, or n, etc. are past participles. Stolen, painted, burned, etc. are past participles. Examples: The cake was burnt. I have finished my project. 3. Gerund. The ing form of verbs when used as a noun is called a gerund. Examples: Geeta likes cooking. We are tired of eating rice every day. Verb forms. Verbs take different forms due to several factors like subject, person and number, tense, voice, and mood. A. Weak verbs. Verbs that change their forms by adding d, e, d, or t to their present form are called weak verbs. Examples: build, keep, happen, apply, etc. B. Strong verbs. Verbs that change the vowel or vowel sound to form their past or past participle form without adding d, e, d, or t are called strong verbs. Examples: read, think, steal, buy, teach, etc. The list of verbs and their forms. Present V1. Past V2. Past participle V3. Accept. Accepted. Accepted. Encourage. Encouraged. Encouraged. Come. Came. Come. Choose. Chose. Chosen. Fall. Fell. Fallen. steal, stole, stolen, draw, drew, drawn, tear, tore, torn, drink, drank, drunk, find, found, found, burn, burnt, burnt, teach, taught, taught, hang, hung or hanged, hung or hanged, make, made, made, hurt, 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 lose, lost, lost, weep, wept, wept, think, thought, thought, try, tried, tried, understand, understood, understood,